So now I'd like to introduce another wonderful pair, Lynette and Chief Tashka. Would you like to come up to the stage? So this is a beautiful story. Thank you so much. This is a beautiful story. It's a partnership which began at the Skoll World Forum, a fortuitous meeting between Chief Tashka Yawanawa and the artist and all-around legend, Lynette Wallworth. And you? And, well, I happened to be there thinking there'll be a panel in this one day. I want to read something out that, Lynette, you emailed me that I thought was particularly interesting. We'll use it as the jump-off for this conversation. Okay. You said, I don't co-create works. I enter into partnerships of mutual intent. Together, we offer the best we can bring towards that orientation, and it starts not with my instinct, but with an invitation. I think that's a really important place to start, and so I'm going to start with you, actually, Chief Tashka Yawanawa. The work that you made together, if that's not too provocative, given what you just said, is called Awavana, and you can see it here. And Lynette, firstly, why don't you just briefly describe that? Then I'm going to ask Chief Tashka why you decided to invite Lynette in.
Sure. So Awavana is it's virtual reality experience. So it means that lens that you referred to before is gone. And it traces the development of the Yawanawa's first woman shaman, Husharu. But the invitation that Tashka made to us was actually to come and film the old shaman, Tata, who is the heart, actually, of this work. And so Tashka knew that form should be VR, and he knew the subject matter should be this shaman, and so we brought this technology to come and actually hold this story of Tata as he passed away inside of a form that would allow the work to then be gifted out from the Yawanawá to us.
And it's a stunning piece of artistry with profound resonances. I just thought today, though, it's interesting, VR, if you look at a virtual reality camera, it's not one camera, but it's many cameras who are able to see all slightly different things that are then pulled together into one picture of reality. Yeah. So I think that speaks to what we're talking about here. It isn't just one lens, it's many lenses, even in that camera.
Yes.
Tashka, why did you invite Lynette to work with your community?
Yeah, 3 years ago, I came to SkollWF Forum and I met Lynette. And she was talking about the coalition, the last work she did with people from Australia. When I saw that, I feel that was beyond a regular documentary. I saw the window where we can share the Yawanawá cosmology, especially linked to the spirituality and linked to where we live. And also because I feel trust in Lynette. In the Yawanawá, you need to feel that kind of connection. If you don't feel the connection, you to take so many years to trust with somebody to work with you. And Lynette and I, we are two dreamers. We bring to the world. I have my way to see that, and she have the ways to bring it to the world.
That's a wonderful, two dreamers coming together is, I think of that in relation to Stories of Change, Sandy. That's a beautiful way of putting it. So, Lynette, why is this not a co-creation?
Well, I mean, I'm being probably very particular. This is a new, it's a term that a lot of people are using at the moment, and yesterday, I would say 7 people said the word to me. And last year no one would have. So, but I want to, I guess, particularly refine what I think are the elements of diversity in creation, that sometimes I have heard people suggesting that co-creating means all making together. And I would say we have come together. It was Tashka's dream. It was Tashka's idea. It was Tashka's choice about the technology. But he chose me and Nicole because we bring certain skill set. And so I want to make definitions around the fact that on the ground and in the making of the work, we hold different roles. And there's a sharpness to that because you have to bring what it is that you do the best. And I know what I do well, and I know all the things that I don't do well. And I don't want to blur the boundaries of what I think should be the delivery of the most powerful work we can make in standing in a circle together.
One of the reasons I was very happy when you agreed to be on this panel, given your reservations about the term, is that we have this, it's not a dilemma, but through Sundance, we're supporting the independent voice. And there is something to a singular, identifiable, distinctive voice that we value in the arts. But you still, I think, collaborate. Can you tell me about how you think about your collaboration together? So two dreamers coming together, but to get to the kind of nuts and bolts, and Nicole Newnham, who's a fantastic producer, pioneering producer in the way that Lynette has pioneered the direction of these pieces, who owns the work? Who is recognized in the results of the work? How do you think about that?
We own it together. And onward, as the work lives more in the world, I will own it less, and Tashka and the Yawanawá will own it more. So in these opening moments when people want to see the work and they want to talk about the technology and it goes to the film festivals, and we can track this through Collisions, which is the work that Tashka mentioned that came previously to this one. So then, you know, we will all front up like we are now and talk. But as the work gets older, my role in it and Nicole's diminishes because the work is held by the community. So with Collisions, for example, Curtis in Australia shows that work much more than I do now. And Tashka and Hushaku and the Yawanawá will own this work and hold this work, and they will gift it into the world. My pleasure is in making the work. I adore making the work. That's my job, is to make the work. Onward, then it's like then I have done what I should do.
So Megan described herself somewhat as a translator in this co-creation. How do you think of yourself and your role in this?
So, you know, we talk about, and you started by asking Kat her personal history, and we can't move away from who we are in the world and the things that bring us to the life we have. And Tashka and I often talk about being people who live between worlds. So we are like bridge people. For me, it's a sensation of not particularly belonging anywhere terribly well. But what that does, if you're continually tracking places where you don't belong, is you live with an alertness to everything because you don't really know the path at all. You have to watch and listen, and everything is slightly uncertain. So I live like that. And when we had conversations by Skype about this work, one particular moment I think is helpful. Tashka would use words about what we were doing, and I might say film, and he would say transmission. What is this thing we're doing? Well, it will be a transmission. At one point, I was worried about Tata, the shaman, old shaman, who we were coming to film, and I was saying to Tashka, in terms of practicalities, what will this be like for Tata, that we have to put a camera in front of him and I will disappear and everyone will disappear and he will have to be giving his transmission to a camera, and will that be okay? Because he will be offering it to us who are not there with him. And there was silence on the other end of the phone, like just silence, like, and that's when I know that I've said something particularly stupid. And so then I just have to wait and realize that there's going to be knowledge here for me. And then Tashka spoke like very quietly, very, very quietly, like, Lynette, when Tata does ceremony, he first of all prays for the person in front of him, for the healing. Then he prays for the community, the village. Then he prays for the forest. Then he prays for you, the holy world. He's always been praying for you. Maybe you never knew it. That's why we need our difference, because he knew that. I never knew it. I'm assuming 99% of you in this room never knew it. How are you ever going to hear that unless these invitations are made? Come and stand in this strange space where you don't know and send out what you find.
And Tashka, the last word to you, how has this process been for you, and what is the importance of the work for you?
I think the work that we did today is sharing a voice, a vision, straight from the community. I think it is the power of the media. Because just to come here, take up about a week. Imagine where we are located, where we live at.
Just to get here takes
a
week.
I get a 6 hour by canoe at the road, and I get about 12 hours by truck, and I get the flight to Brazil, São Paulo, and here. You know, imagine how you guys can hear people living that. Through media, when people hear about, when they see our Vena, they see where the Yawanawá coming from. They see the connection with people, with the nature. My father used to say, people do not respect what they didn't know about it. After people see our Vena, they feel in touch with Yawanawás, with the forest, with the nature. And that's changes people's mind. Like we have this incredible experience now in Economic World Forum in São Paulo. We met the governor from Oaxaca, Mexico. And a month before I was in Oaxaca, and my brother-in-law, because my wife, Laura, she's from Oaxaca, and he was talking very like, wow. He was complaining about the governor of Oaxaca because he don't give too much attention for indigenous people. He's not linked with people from there. And I don't know, I put this idea, I don't know, I want to meet this guy, but I don't know how. But I have this feeling, I want to know this guy. And suddenly, Nicole and us, we was in this Economic World Forum, and the governor of Oaxaca showed up. I said, what's going on? He's coming here. And as you watch our Vena, he comes out, he was, wow, I want you to do something exactly what you do with the indigenous people from Mexico, from Oaxaca. Wow, that was a dream come true. Like, he saw how indigenous people have so many things can share with the world. And he not give the value to the local community that live in Oaxaca. That's strong changes happen.
Yes, it's incredible. And this seems to be a journey from the first meeting at Skoll, you bring in collisions here. We have the gift from the Yawanawá people, and it's incredibly powerful.